Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. The dominoes are starting to fall in the United Kingdom in respect of boxing shows cancelled left, right and centre for March and April. And this follows advice from the UK government, health officials and the British Boxing Board of Control has issued certain advice, and this has been taken on board by promoters. So in this video I'll cover off some of that, and starting with a big show that was meant to be on April the 11th, Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, that has been postponed. Was meant to be April the 11th, it will now be July the 11th, so a delay of 3 months. So what I'll do is I'll get to the statements and then on to a couple of other thoughts here, the fighters themselves, and other statements by other promoters. So starting with Frank Warren, he's put out a statement saying, following the guidelines and advisory measures announced by both the government and the British Boxing Board of Control, Queensberry Promotions feel it would be inappropriate to proceed with any forthcoming boxing promotions in front of live audiences during April and May. The coronavirus situation is evolving rapidly, and we will continue to follow the government's guidelines to ensure health and safety of the paying public, staff and the participants. Regarding the two events we currently have on sale, we can confirm the following. The Seek and Destroy event, being headlined by Daniel Dubois vs Joe Joyce on April 11th at the O2 Arena, has now been rescheduled to Saturday, July 11. Still at the O2 Arena. Tickets will remain valid for the new date. However, people who cannot attend the new date can obtain a refund from their original point of purchase. Then it goes on to detail Josh Taylor's fight on May the 2nd at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow, no longer taking place on the state. Same advice as above, ticket refunds, etc. So not good. Heavyweight boxing fans obviously had been holding out a little bit of hope that some of these shows in the United Kingdom were going to go ahead, because the UK, up until the last day or two, had taken a slightly different stance to the rest of the world in the way that they were going to deal with the coronavirus. But things often can shift rapidly, and obviously things have changed. And so boxing shows are starting to get cancelled left, right and centre. I'll just get on to so Matchroom Boxing. It's also put out a statement too. Following advice from the government and the British Boxing Board of Control relating to COVID-19, Matchroom Boxing have postponed all events scheduled to take place in March and April, including David Avanesian and Josh Kelly at the O2, that's March the 28th, and Lewis Ritson vs Miguel Vasquez at the Utilitaria Arena in Newcastle, April 4th, and Terry Harper and Natasha Jonas at the Doncaster Dome on April 24th. So much of the same advice in terms of ticket refunds and events likely to be postponed or merged into other ones going forward. And you can see here on screen Hennessy Sports, they've also issued a statement. They've got a couple of cards, March the 28th and Saturday, April 25th, that have been postponed. So they won't be the only ones, there will be others, but some of these other ones I don't follow on social media. But in terms of this April 11th show being cancelled, Daniel Dubois, he says, new date, same outcome. At Joe Joyce Boxing, you are going to sleep. Hashtag Seek and Destroy. Hashtag Dubois Joyce. Hashtag Sleep and Destroy. And Joe Joyce, he says, gutted to announce the postponement of my fight with Dynamite Daniel Dubois. Right now, health is paramount. So see you all July 11th. Hashtag The Juggernaut. So you'd imagine that both of these fighters, given that they've been in camp for the best part of 6 or 8 weeks, something like this, that they will pause their camps, take a break, probably have to, I don't want to say self-isolate, but try to, like everyone else at the moment, try to make sure that they stay fit and well. And then they will start a training camp probably, in another month or so, go for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. So this is disappointing news, but I guess it's not altogether surprising given what's been happening around the globe. And the UK was looking like that market where there might be some fights that go ahead, and it is a wait and see approach at the moment. And so Frank Warren, he's cancelled his shows for April and May, whereas Matchroom March and April. So you still have Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, that's May the 2nd. Out of the 3 Matchroom pay-per-views coming up, which is Whyte and Povetkin, Usyk and Chisora, and then Joshua and Pulev, that White and Povetkin one looks like it's in serious jeopardy, just because this, who knows how long this could go on for. It could end up wiping out all 3 of those dates and getting rescheduled to the second half of the year. But even then, everything is still up in the air. But this is not good news for boxing fans, and obviously if you're trying to get your hit of news, this is the sort of wrong type of news that you want to hear, because you want to be talking, discussing the fights, and, you know, trashing the opponents, or, you know, breaking down points either way about who's going to win and why. So extremely disappointing, and I will do a separate video for the Boxing Squared YouTube channel and what I intend to do in this period, because obviously if there's no heavyweight news except fight cancellations, that sort of limits what I can do to a point. I will be continuing, but I'll cover that off in another video. But what do you make of this news? July 11th is the new date for Joyce and Dubois, and even now, maybe that will be optimistic. It's just hard to say how long this coronavirus and the impacts of it will continue to sort of permeate through everything in society. But drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.